Man, you come right out of a comic book.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm kind of surrounded by books at the minute. I'm going to try and do this as quick as I can because there's quite a lot of books to get through. But basically, this is one of the last of the library tour videos I'm going to do. And this is about the graphic novels that I have. So there are actually a couple missing because I can't find them. But you've seen me talk about them in the past. So you may be aware I've got them anyway, I don't know. So I'm going to go through them as quickly as I can. But I'm going to start with a really formative book. So this book was really important to me when I bought it it came out in 1988, so I bought it like a year or so after that because my friend had it and I bought it straight away. And it's called It's a Good Life If You Don't Weaken by Seth. And this gave me a completely different perspective on comics and graphic novels. And it's a very adult, very serious, very dry, relatively slow, but beautiful and philosophical and thought-provoking, reflective graphic novel. And it's really cool. It's about a man looking for a cartoonist, and it's just brilliant. So yeah, Seth's It's a Good Life If You Don't Weaken was really important at the time when I was a teenager. Okay, so now I've said that, I want to just talk about a general thing, and that is that whenever I go away on holiday, I always like to get something from my cartoonist collection. And sometimes in some countries, if I go to Spain, Italy, France or whatever, and I can't find any cartoonist stuff, then I might add something to the graphic novel stuff I've got. So I might not be able to read these things, but I've got this little tiny collection of this sort of thing. So as far as like cartoonist stuff goes, I have got a Spanish New Yorker collection, as you can see there, with New Yorker cartoons. And I've also got a Spanish Peanuts collection as well. So those are obviously things I managed to find in the cartoonist end of things. But there's also these other things like this was from France. Kind of reminds me of Belvoir Rendezvous. I don't know if you've seen that, but that's a great film. And then this is from Italy, Lidi. Really beautiful artwork. If you can probably hold on. Yeah, Lidi. Again, it's can be difficult for me to read. And then I've bought some other things like Lupo Alberto is a very popular cartoon character in Italy. And this time when I went to Italy, I bought a Tex graphic novel. Couldn't resist the devil shooting a cowboy. But again, you know, it's a full-on graphic novel. And also very famous over there, I think, Dylan Dog. I bought a few Dylan Dog graphic novels as well. Or comics, these are really, aren't they? Look at that cover, it's amazing. So that is a thing. I do that. And it's a little bit crazy, but there we are. So let's just get down to the more understandable things. Right, I'm going to do this as quick as I can. So I have Double X, which is a huge tome, which I've seen reviewed sometimes. I was kind of curious. I haven't read this yet, by Ryan Hughes. So yeah, I'm not sure what it's like, but I think it's quite complex and quite involved. And there's lots of different styles to it. There's like graphic stuff, but then there's like print stuff, you know, the text stuff. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it's about an alien invasion, I think. Or alien communication, possibly. Oh, straight off the bat, we're looking at Alan Moore here. So I've got Watchmen here. I do own The Killing Joke, but I don't know where it is. It's gone missing. I might have lent it out to someone who keeps telling me that they haven't borrowed it, but I think I might have done. But anyway, I've got The Killing Joke somewhere as well, and I love The Killing Joke. But I've got Watchmen as well. And also my favourite, which is V for Vendetta. I absolutely love this. And again, somewhere I've got the individual issues that came out. It came out in 12 issues originally at the time. So I've got the V for Vendetta trade paperback as well. I don't know where to start with this stuff. I was just recently bought this for Father's Day, The Adventure Zone And this is a graphic novel of a D&D game that three brothers did with their dad DMing it. So it was quite a nice Father's Day gift. So this is supposed to be really good, The Adventure Zone. I now have 4 of the Saga books. So I've read the first 2. I'll just go through them quickly. So this is number 1. Oh, no, it's number 2. Where's number 1? Yeah, there's number 1. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So Brian K. Vaughan's big saga. So I really like the first 2, so I'm looking forward to getting into those. Also, another Brian K. Vaughan. I've got The Last Man, the first volume of The Last Man. Let me know if you've read that. This, I absolutely love this. Really love this. This is really like completely me to a T. If you know about this and you know something similar, recommend it to me. Percy Gloom. Really love this. I did a video about it. I'm pretty sure. But I want to get, there's a second one. I want to get a second one. Maybe I'll do a video about the 2 of them as well. But I love this book. I love the world building. I love the character. I love the plot. I just love everything about it. The tone of it. It's really special, I think. Percy Gloom. I'll just show you the artwork as well. It's quite surreal. But I absolutely love it. Really love it. This was bought on a whim and I'm just so glad I've got it. Love that. Harlan Ellison makes an appearance. So I've got 7 Against Chaos, which is a graphic novel that he wrote. This is good. This is a very special graphic novel biography of the Twilight Zone creator Rod Serling, the Twilight Man. It's really good. I did a video. Did I do a video about this? No, I didn't do a video about this, but I talked about it in one of my monthly wrap-ups. Oh no, I do talk about it when I did a video on books associated with the Twilight Zone. I did that one. This is an absolute masterpiece. Mouse, Art Spiegelman. I did a video on this, and that's it's a really good book, essential reading. And if you're doing the banned books project, then read Mouse. It's brilliant. It's Art Spiegelman's account of his father's experience during the Holocaust as a Jew. So it's really, really good, really important. Have I got? Oh no! And the other thing is I've got Persepolis as well, because that just rang a bell. And Persepolis is one of my favourite graphic novels. It's fantastic, and I can't find my copy. It's only partly because I'm doing this relatively quickly. I got all these things together quite quickly, so I don't think I've lost it or anything, but I'm not sure where I put it. This is really important to me. This is 4 volumes, which end up as a trade paperback as well. So I've got the trade paperback and I've got the individual 4 volumes of I Am Legend. And this is by Steve Niles, who was also famous for 30 Days of Night. And this is fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant. So I've got the original 4 issues it came out as, and then this book puts them all together, and it's so brilliant. It really is fantastic. Beautiful artwork, but it's the same as the book, which you can't say about the films, and it's just absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I Am Legend, really good version there. A couple of Batman graphic novels. So I've got Hush, which is a really famous, popular story. Got Hush, and by the same writer, there's The Long Halloween, which part of this plot became an influence on the latest film called The Batman. So The Long Halloween I've got as well. So that's awesome. And just to give you a sense of the artwork, which I think is always a good idea. It's very stylized, but really cool. And another present I had recently, this is from my son, Dragon Age, the first 5 graphic novels. So it's a bit of a chunker, but really, really awesome. I like the game Dragon Age, so I'm looking forward to reading this. So Dragon Age, the original 5 graphic novels, is apparently really good as well. There's this is so chaotic. The Dancing Plague. This is a really good one-off book that I found in foils, and I bought it because it looked really cool, and it's really interesting artwork design. It's like the old. It looks like it was drawn in the medieval times. It's really interesting, and it's about a real historical thing where people got an infection and they started dancing. It's really cool. So I really like this. So there's a Dancing Plague, and it feels really good as well. It's kind of like a mottled effect. Joe Hill, Dying is Easy. I bought this because it was Joe Hill, and it was a one-off, like a standalone thing. I was pleased to get this, but yeah, it didn't blow me away, but I like the fact I've got it. It's about a stand-up comedian, and it's a very dark story. Let's talk about this for a second. Let's talk about this. This is important. So this guy, Simon Stallenhag, absolutely knocked me for 6 when I first discovered the Electric State. This is incredible. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. If you relate to this, if you know this, then let me know down below. If you're a bit curious, it's just absolutely beautiful. So this is the back cover. It's really eerie. When I read this, it really stayed with me for days. It really affected my mental state. I don't know what it is about it, but it really did stay with me. It's just amazing. I'll try and find some. The artwork's amazing. Show you one more. And it's difficult to describe. And to be fair, it's probably better to go in blind, but it's just so beautifully done. So Simon Stallenhag's Electric State, I loved it, and then I bought the other 2. Well, two of the other 3, because there's another one out now as well. So Things from the Flood and Tales from the Loop. So there was a series based on his books called Tales from the Loop, which is fantastic. And I did a video about that series as well. There's a lovely, long, but really beautifully told story here called Blankets by Craig Thompson. And that's a very autobiographical, personal story that's definitely worth checking out. If you like more personal graphic novels, this is really good. Explores relationships, growing up, coming of age, religion a lot, and it's really, really good. So yeah, Blankets is really good. And Running Out of Space. I've got a Fred the Clown story, so I just couldn't resist it. And I quite like the artwork in this as well. Kind of reminds me a bit of Max Fleischer. So Fred the Clown. Similarly, I've got a Bone book as well. I found another one. I nearly bought it, but I wanted to read this one before I bought any more. But there's Bone, and this one is literally just called Out from Boneville. This is a more serious, again, autobiographical, fairly recent graphic novel called Fun Home, and this is a sarcastic title, so it's much more exploratory and personal. And definitely worth checking out. It is very good. This is called The Daily Zoo, and it's a cartoonist decided to create these creatures, and it's just got really awesome artwork. I love it. I love that kind of thing. So I put that with my graphic novels because it's kind of like illustrative stuff. There's a random Twilight Zone book there by Straczynski. Oscar Zarate's collaboration with Alan Moore called A Small Killing. It's like a satire on the advertising industry and consumerism. Okay, so there's a bunch of books here which are Hunt Emerson books. So Hunt Emerson is a cartoonist, and I have talked about him before in many videos, but especially the cartoonist library talk bit. But because these are stories, or they're a little bit more than just cartoonist stuff, I thought I'd put them in here as well. So there's his version of Casanova's Last Stand. I just absolutely love the way he draws. So there's that one, and there's Lady Chatterley's Lover. There's Dante's Inferno, which was a relatively recent one. So it was that was about 5-7 years ago, something like that. And an old one, Rime of the Ancient Mariner. I love Rime of the Ancient Mariner, so I just love having a Hunt Emerson version of this story. So that's all cool. And Lives of the Great Occultist. So those are just some of the Hunt Emerson books I put in this video, but I've got a ton of them. I've got almost everything he's done. There's one I need to get, I think. But he's a very important person to me anyway, because he's designed 6 album covers of Bemis albums. So my band Bemis, so the band I'm in, Bemis, 6 albums. And also he did the cover of my book, The Brown Yelp Gang. And he's also done the cover of the next one, the follow-up called The Brown Yelp Gang Go to Pieces. So, you know, I've had this relationship with him as well, which is just phenomenal, because I've been collecting his stuff since I was a teenager. So that's really cool. Okay, so there's also another Oscar Zarate one here, The Park, which is a really interesting one about a small domestic argument in a park that just gets way out of control. It is really good, though. That's a good story. Okay, let's have a look at this stuff. These are 5 different small comic-sized graphic novels, which are the graphic novelization of Harlan Ellison's original script of City on the Edge of Forever. And it's brilliant. It's really good. So I'm really pleased I have this. But I keep them in there. But you can get them as a trade paperback as well. So yeah, they're in 5 issues there. Harlan Ellison's original script of City on the Edge of Forever, because Gene Roddenberry changed it a bit when they originally filmed it. This is interesting. This is Scarlet Traces Volume 1. This is supposed to be a sequel to War of the Worlds. I haven't really heard anyone talk about this, so that's kind of interesting. I don't think I mentioned this yet. This is one of my Edward Gorey books. I've got a number of Edward Gorey books, but that was there. So the Epileptic Bicycle. Again, I've talked about Edward Gorey before. This is a graphic novel of Firefly, the great series by Joss Whedon. And this is called New Sheriff in the Verse, Part 1. So that's a cool Firefly story. Invisible Republic, Volume 1. I haven't read this, but it looks really awesome. This was a gift. I haven't read this one, Invisible Republic. Let me know if you've read this one. There's another Volume 1. This is Low, The Delirium of Hope. So another one I haven't read. Another one that was a present, but it looks really cool. So very stylized artwork, but fantastic artwork. So Low. And this one is a long-running series, and I'm really, really curious about this one. This is Something is Killing the Children, Volume 1. And someone I just posted something about graphic novels on Facebook, and someone told me that they just bought the first 7. And I know Dave from Brook Blather is reading this. So yeah, Something is Killing the Children, Volume 1. I have the first one, and probably by the time this comes out, I would have read this first one. Okay, so there's Wake as well by Scott Snyder, or The Wake, sorry, which looks really cool. Again, really nice artwork. And there's a Sandman book called Endless Nights. I haven't got a lot of Sandman stuff, but I'm a big fan of Neil Gaiman. But I think this was relatively recent. So yeah, Endless Nights I've got from a Sandman, from the Sandman universe. Ice Cream Man is a bunch of short stories that came out, and this was recommended to me when I went to LA, and I bought the first one. But there's a bunch of them now. When I went to LA, this was the only one. It was new. The whole series was new, but there's a bunch of them now, and this is apparently like Twilight Zone short story kind of format, and it is good, and it's I can see why there's that comparison. So yeah, very interesting, and again, quite I'd say it reminds me a bit of some of the DC stuff. But yeah, very cool. Ice Cream Man. This is a graphic novelization of Frankenstein. So I don't know if you can see that in the light, but it's a very cool, it's a very subtle cover. And this is part of a series called Original Text. Classical comics, bringing classics to life. And it is very good. It's a really good, using the actual text of the book as well. It's a good interpretation of Frankenstein. So I've got that, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I love this book. This book is fantastic. This was in my top 10 of graphic novels of all time video I did ages ago when I first started the channel. Sean Tan's The Arrival. I want to try and collect Sean Tan's stuff, but this is the only one I've got at the moment. But I think this is a beautiful book. It's a kind of a fantasy book, magical realism kind of thing, that kind of makes comments on immigration, and the what's the word? The alienation of going to another unfamiliar place. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. This is a fantastic book called The Best We Could Do. Another autobiographical graphic novel about immigration, and it's just absolutely brilliant. It really is. So yeah, I definitely recommend this, The Best We Could Do. I might do a separate one about autobiographical graphic novels, but yeah, that is brilliant. Definitely recommend it. And it's got a very sweet drawing style that is really inviting. So yeah, that is brilliant. I'll talk about that in a second. This is probably a good time to talk about this. This, I said when I did a review of this, is my favourite graphic novel. It probably is. I don't know. It just blew me away. I think it's beautiful. I love how it's drawn. I love the message. I love the way the storytelling works. I just couldn't believe it. I'd heard about it, took a risk on it, and I just couldn't believe it. I loved it. Day Tripper by Fabio Moon and Gabriel Barr. It's absolutely brilliant. Really is. As you can see, it's connected to DC. But it's just such a unique book. I don't want to spoil it by telling you what it's about, but it does basically ruminate on life, the meaning of life, what matters in the world, love, death, family, putting meaning into everything you do. Every day matters. That's the point of this book. Every day matters. It's just beautiful. So yeah, definitely recommend this. Get it, Day Tripper. It's amazing. Oops. Put that there. I'm knocking me old thingy here. So I've got Lock and Key, the first one. I haven't read it yet, but again, this is Joe Hill, and I'm excited to read it. This series is really popular, and I'm really keen to read it, but I haven't read it yet. So yeah, Lock and Key. Welcome to Lovecraft. And then I've got 3 of the Walking Dead books. So I got these when The Walking Dead first started, but then I decided not to read them because the story was different to the series, and I thought it was just going to mess everything up. So I thought I'd wait until the series is finished. It's finished now. I am a huge fan of The Walking Dead, and now I'm going to read the graphic novels, but I've only got 3 so far because I stopped buying them. This is a lovely, really quite reflective and personal graphic novel called In by Will MacPhail. This utterly blew me. I loved it to death. I'll just show you the illustrative style. It's him really thinking about life and his relationships. It's a really good book, In. And on the back of that, I bought a cartoon collection that he just brought out called Love and Vermin. He works for the New Yorker, and this is brilliant. This is an absolutely brilliant book. So Will MacPhail, I'm a big fan of. Anything he comes out with, I'm going to get it. I've got a bunch of Asterix books here. Asterix in Spain, Mansion of the Gods, Asterix and the Goths, Asterix and the Roman Agent. So I see Asterix books sometimes. I just wanted to have a little collection. I do love the way it's drawn, and clearly this is more comic than graphic novel, but yeah, I love the Asterix books. Right, I did a video about these books, but I haven't got the 3rd one yet because I borrowed them, and I've been buying them, and I don't think he's going to see it, but if Simon does see this, I'm so grateful for when I got really ill and you lent me all those books. But he lent me these books, and this is a series of 3 books by Rob Davis. The first one is The Motherless Oven, and then it's and then The Book of Forks. Oh no, I'm getting confused which one's which. And then the other one is The Can Opener's Daughter. And these three books are amazing. They're really unique. The artwork is really cool. The world building is just bizarre. It's a really surreal dystopia that just doesn't make any sense, but it's really interesting. If you're a bit curious, watch the video I did on it because I'll talk about it in more detail. But they're so brilliant, and they're just really weird. So about 3 teenagers trying to deal with this really strange world. So yeah, I absolutely love those books, and I got 2 of them. I should get the 3rd one soon because I absolutely love them, really love them. Where are we? There's a bunch. I mean, I've got sort of some of the stuff I've already done on the cartoonist video around here as well, which I wasn't going to talk about. But this is Pixar sketches and cartoons and stuff, which is quite nice. I don't know if I talked about these books in my cartoonist videos. I might have done. I probably did, but hey, why not? And that's the 2 omnibus Edward Gorey books that I've got here, the Amphigory and the Amphigory 2. I'm pretty sure there's a 3rd one out as well, but these literally just tell the Edward Gorey stories, but in A4 format rather than those little books. So there we go. I was kind of rushing that, I guess. That's probably why I've surprised myself. But yeah, there's quite a lot there. And I will continue to collect these things. And let me know which bits of those you got, or that you've read, or that you want to read. What intrigues you. There's only a couple more of the library tour books, videos I'm going to do now, and then I'll be done with that. But thanks for watching. Yeah, let me know below what you think of these graphic novels and what you read. Stay curious, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Picture of what it's like to